just to not be too aggressive with it. I want that up there. I think we're going to play ball in this range probably tomorrow. Oop. Host has enabled logo recording. Got it. I think we're going to be playing ball in this range tomorrow, which is fine with me. I'll mint money in it. I minted money in this range last time. I'll mint money in this range tomorrow. Now, I don't know if why is this showing? So 8 p.m. Time to rock and or roll. Anybody joining us in the did we do it? Did we decide whether we wanted to so red wine. Red wine. See if we get any background noise from him. Put these guys over and blow a horn. And then move them back to the screw with them. I don't know. I always like to put red wine wherever we are because poor red wine. He's just, I love him. He's a great guy. All right. You want me to call some NQ trades maybe tonight? I can't hear anything, Tom. Are you talking to me? Are you in with me, Tom? I'm doing the StreamYard thing all by my lonesomes. We can have the man behind the curtains. Never mind the man behind the curtains, Tom. AI Tom. He is the Predaterminator.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me?
Hey, are you going to join me by voice at least in the stream? All right, maybe not. Oh, shit. Okay, hold on a minute. Hold, please. StreamYard shouldn't be muted. I know the problem. My bad. Okay. You should be good now.
All right. Am I back?
Yeah. I switched speakers again today because I can't get my monitor speaker to work right. And I keep forgetting that you have to change the speaker and all the other crap too.
Gotcha.
So how do I get this to go on stage?
You're already on stage.
No, when you're if you happen to not be around and it's me and Paul.
I'm gonna set it up to kick off every night.
Like at what, 7:45, 8 p.m.?
What do you want it to be?
That's a Paul question, bro. I'm gonna do what he says to do. It's got me to 1. Like I said, I'm not gonna be super aggressive. I mean, we had that late run down at the close. Actually, that wasn't that bad. Me and Paul got it all the way down to 1,400 today. Yeah. Chart's not looking right. Because we walked out at like 2 p.m. Maybe it was 3. What I do know is we done good. Real good. I mean, I sold all the way through here. Yeah, we started. I guess we came back what 11:30, 11:45. We sold through here, added contracts on the way back up, sold through here, and just raked in the dough. Just raked it in. I got aggressive selling because it broke that level. That's the big level I had. When we were looking at this chart, the blue line and the white line right next to each other, that was a big level I had, and when it stayed below it, and then we poked down this other big level I had, and we got the push back down. I was like, let's just freaking start selling everything. I sold everything all the way into this, and I did about five. It was like 520 on one account that I had doing double the contracts, and then all the other accounts were about 250. That was good. I had fun with it.
What you gonna teach us tonight?
I want to talk about. Let's see. What do we want to talk about tonight? We can talk about big tick charts. I kind of want to start. I mean, since I'm going to be start teaching basics to people, I kind of want to start with the basics. What do you think about that?
That's fine with me.
Now, when we start with the basics, first and foremost, I advise everybody to go to YouTube University. What time? Hang on. What time is it before I start running my mouth? Let me 8:12, 2012. Okay, we got a couple minutes. We may not get a lot of price action tonight, but who knows? I mean, last night ended up being pretty fun. Yeah. All right. So I'll start from the very beginning. What's an order? How do you trade it? And then go to just looking at my ads, making sure they're where I want them. Okay. All right. Give me a couple minutes, and then I'll start running my mouth. I will get some pontificating done. Back in 2 minutes.
Okay.
All right, I had to get my affairs in order. Oh, I came down one tick away from my target. TNDT, it's dynamite.
I
Man, this game,
should make something on AI for that.
that'd be cool, man. TNDT, it's dynamite. My levels are good. I'm happy with that. I'll wait for a minute or two longer. I think we'll wait till about 8:30.
Yeah, nothing but ranging on the NQ.
Fix my upper monitor there. I'm watching the smaller tick chart too. I can pull that up here for tonight. I got that. I got a new account just specifically for the NQ and gold trades. Why is this chart not? Make sure it's on that account. Okay. Make sure this is on that account as well. It is not. So that I didn't, so I don't muddy the performance track record with other stuff. So I'm gonna start doing that. I think that's a smart thing to do. But we'll take a look at the little gap here just so I can see that chart. We'll start looking at we'll look at this, like any breakout or anything I'll try to catch tonight. Actually, I could just do it. I could just switch to the back and forth between 1500 and not. Let me make sure that is on the same one too. Be ready to go. Okay. All right. We can trade NQ and ES now. Well, let me ask you this: what you're looking for? You're looking for your orb? Is that what you're looking for?
I've got my orbs. It just it broke the 15 orb and then started to come back down. So,
well, if you want to talk about a trade that you're looking at, holler at me. and I'll tell you if I like it or not.
The one that I'm looking at right now is to take it off of the 26 long.
Okay.
There it goes down and breaks
Well,
down because it's coming from the 50, so it's coming from that even level. This is the NQ strategy of Paul. It doesn't look like it might not get down there. We'll just have to see.
No, I mean, Paul's, again, this is what I love about what he does is like, he's not trying to hit home runs on the NQ. He's trying to get, singles. I mean, a single on the NQ is a home run on the ES. So
I just don't have a lot of other levels. I've got a level at 430, 75 where there was like 5 touches, and a level at 421, 50. So, I mean, both substantial levels where there was reaction, but and of course that 26 is sitting right smack dab midline in the middle of them. So yeah, no, you tell me. What do you think?
Well, I don't really trade those levels. So what I will tell you is the levels I'm looking at is there's definitely a level right here, S1 around 469. Here, I'll do it on the bigger too. So like you got a good level here. You got I mean,
what's your S1
at 471?
What tick chart?
It doesn't matter, but it's I'm using 1500 and 15,000.
Huh. Mine's at 76, 75.
Okay. Make sure you're using daily bars and daily range. That should be all you have to do. And on bar close. So it's daily bar close. Calculate on bar close. Daily bars. It's Ninja, right?
Yeah, but I'm using my own indicator that I wrote.
Well, here's the way I feel on, again, Paul's going to hit dingers on the NQ, and that's fine because I'll take every trade he calls because he's got a good track record. Really good one.
Shit, I missed it. Bounced right off the 26.
Yeah, you had 24 low. Yeah, that was it. That was a good one. I wouldn't take a long now.
Oh, no, I'm not going to chase it.
Yeah.
No chasey for me.
Oh, we learned something, did we, huh?
Yeah. Dog's even sitting here looking at me going, don't chase
Oh,
it.
my God. Poor Grace. I took her to the dog beach a little bit ago. There's one just down the road.
Yeah.
And this lady had the worst dog. And she was like, I was like, well, can you just like take care of your dog? And she was like, well, I can't. And I was like, well, don't have it on public. And her dog is some kind of pit bull mix. Paulina has a picture of it. It got in a fight with Grace, and she has 2 puncture wounds on her neck from it holding her. Now, before that happened, Grace bit it in the ear, ripped part of his ear off, bit it in the leg, ripped part of his leg off, and it's bleeding profusely. But I had to grab it by its mane and its back and pick it up for it to let go of her neck because it was pit bull mix.
Mm-hmm.
And it just chomped down on her, and I literally was about to start beating that dog. And I told the lady, I was like, man, I'll call the freaking cops. And it turns out she's from Georgia, and I was like, even worse, I don't even care. I'm gonna freaking call the cops on you.
Did you?
No, she left. She left because I need to change that a little bit. I'm trying to get the TNDT show, but she left, and I obviously I don't put up with BS, so I exchanged words with her, and And I was like, how long have you had your dog? And she's like, 4 years. And I was like, and you can't train it better than that? I said, after 4 years, you should know not to take your freaking dog out in public if it's going to act like that. I was like, how many dogs has your dog gotten in a fight with now? And this person got out of his car and he's like, well, yours and another dog had already started fighting with here at the dog beach. And I was like, you got to get out of here. And I just told her to leave. I was like, leave. You got to go. I was like, I don't care. You got to get out of here, man. This is, that's not cool. You can't be doing that stuff.
No.
Anyway, so that was fun this afternoon, or I actually just got back like 40 minutes ago.
You can't take an animal aggressive dog to a public. What a moron.
Say that again.
You can't take an animal aggressive dog to a dog beach. It's retarded.
Yeah. What are you doing? Like, and she's like, well, I didn't know it was a dog beach. And I was like, well, duh.
Apparently she can't read either.
Well, it's not really posted. It's like a little tiny stretch of land that only really locals know about. And,
yeah, but still, I mean, people bring their animals to the beach anyway. I mean, that's just common
well,
sense.
you can't, not here. No.
Oh, really?
No, man. You bring your animal to the beach here, unless it's one of the designated spots that they don't really advertise. You're considered a jerk.
Oh, wow.
And they'll get onto you. You'll get a fine for it too. Yeah. I mean, there's just so many tourists. Like they can't have that here. This is one of those things. I'm trying to get my camera to look in the right spot, but I think it's okay. Don't you?
Yeah.
Camera's good. All right. So here's what I would do. I would look at shorten from this level up here that I have right around the right that 70 level, which is close to one of the golden numbers that Paul trades anyway. I'd be wary to taking another long out of there. That I don't think you can try that trick too many times tonight. But the market's not really doing anything. Like I said, I think we're going to be caught in the range. I think we're going to be caught in this range for quite a while.
Yeah, because there was a previous dump earlier.
Yeah, it was late day, right at the close dump. And it's funny, like, you look at the thing, it says the war's over despite still bombing. Marco Rubio said that, and all of a sudden the market dumps. The market goes up when the war is going on, the market goes down when it's over. That doesn't make any sense to me whatsoever. It sounds like it's contrarian. So I'm gonna clean these levels up at some point in the near future when I get some, when we start doing it. But so teaching, here's what I say. When it comes to trading, I think if you're not willing to go out to YouTube University, and so this is my teaching part. I don't know if the thing will catch it or not, but if you're not willing to go out to YouTube University and learn what a market order is, the bid, the ask, buy stop, sell stop, then that's on you. That's on you as a person. You should not be trading if you're not willing to do that. That's just me. Now, will I teach you quickly in the lesson? Yes. But if you don't know how to do some of this stuff, when I used to do personal coaching, and again, I'm telling you right now, I'm opening myself back up to doing more personal coaching. And I'm being silly about this camera, aren't I? I'm being really silly about it. So if you're not willing to open yourself, if you're not willing to do that, now again, me opening myself up to personal coaching, this is my process. Actually, how about I teach that, what my coaching process is, and why I've had so much success with people that coach under me is you've got to, if you can't rely on coaching alone, as you know, right, Tom? You cannot rely on coaching alone. You've got to get your hands dirty when it comes to trading. You got to screw things up, and you got to screw things up fast. And that's my biggest thing is screw up fast, and get it done before you hurt yourself monetarily, and get the screw ups out of the way. I mean, it's like Paul was telling you yesterday, like he wants you to screw up slowly right now, screw up fast on small numbers. And then when you get better, double your contracts and take less trades. And that's our coach. We do the same kind of coaching, which I mean, I coach Paul to coach that way, and he's fantastic at doing. I mean, he's probably a better coach than I am because I don't have the patience that he has. But I don't say I don't have the patience. If you're really not getting it, I'm going to take all the time in the world to help you. If you're doing it and just doing the same dumb thing over and over, I'm like, your numbers don't lie. You keep doing the same thing and you get the same result. That makes you insane.
Yeah.
That's the definition of insanity. So when it comes to coaching or learning this as a trader, you've got to do your own due diligence. Now, what I would say is don't go past that. Your individual learning should be buy stop, sell stop. How do I end an order? How do I close? Learn your platform, right? Learn how to close your orders, learn what a market order is, bid, ask, buy stops, sell stops, things like that. Learn those basic things. And then, and again, first thing I'll do when I coach a brand new person that doesn't even know that, I'm going to say, this is what you got to learn. I'll teach them real quick and I'll record it for them too. I'll say, look, this is our set. I'll record our session and then send it to them. Say, you watch this session over and then come back and teach it back to me. I'm a big believer in teach back, teach it back to me. And then once you can do that, then we'll move on to the next part of teaching. So now that we have the basics, you know how to work your platform, you know how to take a trade, you know how to get out of a trade, you know what a stop is, you know what a target is, you know what those things are. And, again, this is really simple. I have limit orders on the screen, buy limit, sell limit. Those orders are basically saying that if the price goes up to this area, it's going to sell a contract. You could have a buy stop up here instead of a sell limit. A buy stop. Ooh, guess what I'm going to do? Get me to start doing this more often too. So this is a sell limit. Price comes up. You expect price to get rejected, come back down, and you pick the level that you want it to get rejected from. That's a limit order. Okay, same thing on a buy limit. Price comes down, you expect price to bounce off here, so you do a limit order there. So hopefully this happens while we're looking at this. So that's those are how limit orders work, and that's a method of entry, and it's a method of exit. So you can use sell stops and buy stops to enter and exit trades. So that means that I'm in one short right now, meaning a short and a long, and let's go Barney style. Short means that I expect the market to go down. Don't worry about the term or anything like that. Just know short means I think the market's going to go this way. Long means I think the market's going to go up. Simple, simple, simple. Okay. But the order types, most newbies are not going to use bid and ask to get in. As a veteran, you probably want to use a bid and ask. Now, what I will do now, and this is a good learning point, is we have limit orders, meaning price is going to get rejected, hopefully. Oh, didn't mean to click on that. Hopefully price gets rejected. And here's what I will do. So if you use a stop order, for instance, I would like to say, I want to put a sell stop here. So I'll put a sell stop there, meaning that now if I expect, so instead of I expect the price to bounce off here, I expect price to come down and continue through here. That's a sell stop. It's the same thing with a buy stop. So if I had a buy stop up here, let's say a buy stop was up here, buy stop was there, I would express price to come up and continue through it instead of bouncing off of it. So that would be the difference in the order types for newbies. I don't think you need to get in bid and ask orders as a newbie, but that's the way it goes. Now, I do like this order that I placed here because this is the way I want to trade this tonight, except for I want to be just a teeny bit more aggressive with it, because I do expect it, if it comes back through here, to continue down. Now, with that being said, a stop is also, when you learn, stop is, so for instance, I have a buy limit here. That's my target, okay? It doesn't matter what order type you got. Now, since I'm short one, I could put a buy stop here instead of a sell limit. And when price gets here, it's going to get me out of the trade. I get out of the trade. Now, if I were flat, what flat means is I'm zero contracts. I'm -1 right now. You can see that over here, -1. So if you're flat, that means you have zero contracts. And if you want to be in a long position, you expect this to go up. By the way, did you take the breakout I was talking about up here?
No.
Okay. That's an order that I should tell you to look at stuff like that. So now we can look at a rejection off of this level right here, by the way. So I don't want to use a limit order, but if we see it bounce, we can look at getting a nice little 10-point move. So a buy stop would get me out of the trade if I'm already short. However, if I was not in a trade and I'm net zero and price is coming up and I want to be in a long, so for instance, you could have looked at this NQ chart here and put a buy stop there, and as price came through, you would be in the long trade and you would be net one long, meaning you're buying. So same thing on the downside. If I were long and I wanted to stop in here, if I were already long, let me clean this up a little bit and go back to that. If I were already long and say I'm in a long position, not a short, and I say I want to risk this much, then I could have my sell stop in and it would get me out of the trade. Or I had a sell stop in there because I expect price, if it comes down here, to continue down. So I added a contract there. Okay, those are the order types, and that's how you should look at it from a new person. That's all you need to know from an order type standpoint. If you overcomplicate it more than that as a newbie or somebody learning trading, you're going to overcomplicate trading. That's all you need to know. Because the next thing you really need to know in trading, you really, really need to know is, as a new trader, you need to know trade management. You need to know why do this. What's the important thing? Well, we trade in the futures market. There's a ton of risk. Okay, you can't just jump in trading and I did that all wrong. That's supposed to be risk. There's a ton of risk in the market, and you can't just jump in and think that you're going to make money no matter how good you are. You've got to understand that there's going to be risk. Okay, risk versus what? Reward. Yes. Okay. So when I'm training somebody, oh my gosh, what is wrong with me? Risk versus reward today. Okay, risk versus reward. So when I'm training somebody new, you've got to think about what that is. That's the most important thing I teach. So when I first teach somebody, I start teaching entries, and I don't teach people levels to begin with. You can use my levels if I'm coaching you. If I'm coaching you, I'm teaching you, use my levels to begin with. That's going to take you some time to learn. But what you can learn is how much you want to risk. Okay, you don't want to risk more than $100. Well, you've got to know how much risk there is involved in this. So when it comes to futures contracts on the micro, there's about a per tick. And here's another basic thing you need to know. A tick is just a unit of measurement in the futures market. That's all it is. On the ES, it's every quarter of a point. On the NQ, it's every quarter of a point. On the ES is the S&P 500. NQ is the NASDAQ, and the Dow is the YM symbol. Just like stocks have symbols, these are symbols for the futures market products. Again, anybody that wants to go past that learning wise, you're overcomplicating it. It's just a symbol for a product that gives you a structured thing to buy and sell. That's it. So what you got to understand is, if I want to make $50, should I be risking $100? I want to gain 50. Should I risk 100? The answer is absolutely not, ever, until you know what you're doing. Okay? You should be looking at an entry that's going to give you the best chances of winning. So what I always work with people first on, once they get the basics down, they know what buy stops, all the order types are, they know the risk reward, they know how much money is involved as far as if they go in one contract, two contracts, whatever it is. And once I teach those basics, and that's one session, you can get all the basics down in one session, not a big deal. And again, you got YouTube University for that. What I tend to want to do is go quickly past that into a spot where, and here's a big problem that newbies do, and myself included, almost everybody does this. I'm sure you did it too. You give yourself information overload because you're trying to learn everything about trading in one day or one sitting or one whatever, right? You didn't go through that?
In my case, I wasn't patient enough to let something work. If it didn't work for me, I would just jump on to the next lesson or to the next either YouTube.
Well, what about learning the basics though?
Learning the basics, I kind of took a regular, relatively, good approach to it. I took my time and tried to learn the basics before I got
Okay.
in.
Well, most people don't do that. Most people don't do that. Most people try to learn the basics and strategies at the same time, and that's silly. What I think most people need to learn is there's a million strategies out there, and everyone has a sexy name, sexy symbol, sexy whatever. I'm gonna move this target up, okay, aka my buy limit because I'm short 2. I'm gonna move the target up because I want to make sure that I take profit on this trade at a relatively easy place for me to make money here. Now, with this being said, there's millions of strategies, but there's 2 different basic types of trading. There's one type of trading, and I'm going to show it to you in the queue. I'm going to put this on Sim since I'm in. There's one type of trading where you pick a level and you trade from it. So if I wanted to get short here, I probably would have, and I have, let's see. Let's make sure this one NQ, do 2 contracts. And I say, I think if it goes back below this area, I'm going to sell it. That would be, again, a sell stop. I would put in there. Actually, I like that trade really. I might even try it on my, you know what, Tom? Ixnay on that. I'm going to do that with my actual account because I do like that trade.
Which one?
The short that I'm about to do an example of. Okay. So I really like, if price falls below this area right here, I really like to be short, sell 2 contracts. So I'm going to put a sell stop in. So one type is I'm going to have a static entry, a static target, and a static risk. So that's one type of trading. The second type of trading is I don't want static targets and stops. I want to make sure that I'm gradually getting into a trade over time and taking very little risk with smaller contracts. So those are the 2 basic types. So basic type of trading is one, I'm on level, and this is using levels or whatever you want to call it. Pretty much everybody calls it levels. You want to trade from a level to a level to a level to a level. I already have them marked off on my chart because I trade level to level. The other type is if this gets filled, there's going to be a stop that goes up here. There's going to be an entry right here. Hang on a minute. And then there's going to be a target that goes down here. And that's going to be a stop order. That's going to be a stop order as well, sell stop. And that's going to be a target. That's going to be a limit order. And that's how that works. So those are 2 basic types of trading. Now, I don't know what time it is, but that's got us all the way to 8:44. There's some basics. I mean, that's a good start. At the end of the day, I like using levels. I don't have, so this type of trading, you have to be perfect. Or you have to have a set risk reward ratio, right? Risk, like we said earlier, risk versus reward. And this, I have to maintain a set risk reward ratio, but I have to know that I'm increasing risk as price goes up if I want to be short, and I'm increasing risk as price goes down if I want to be long. However, I have a static area up here where I'm going to put a stop in that says, if I'm wrong completely, I'll just get out of the trade and lose the money. So those two basic types of like methodology, pretty much every single, and you tell me, it's been a long time since I've shopped around for education, but pretty much every single company out there, every single place teaching this, those are the only two different ways of trading. Literally, the only two different. Now, if this doesn't work out, I'll just cancel it. If it doesn't come down and give me the order, I'll just cancel it. But those are the only two different types of trading. With that being said, though, I prefer this type. Again, it doesn't matter the type you prefer. What matters is that you get good at one thing before you move on. That's the most important thing I teach somebody brand new is get good at one thing. I don't care what it is. It doesn't have to be the way I do it. The way I do it is very relaxing. The way I do it means I don't have to be perfect. The way I do it means that I can be wrong in the near term because I'm wrong in the near term right now, correct? See this? I am wrong in the near term, but in the long term, I want to see this come up, maybe grab that contract, come back down, and I'll take profit all the way down through here, and I'm right in the long term. That's fine with me. And the other way around is you've got to be right in the near term. You have to be right when you take this trade, because if you're wrong, you're stopped out. Your stop takes you out of the trade, and you're lost some money right there at the end of there. I'd rather not have to be that perfect, and that's just me, my thought process in trading. Now, what I will do is, if you pick me up from there, we'll go into the reasoning behind each of the programs. I just don't have time to cover that, and that's a 30-minute segment or an hour. That'll probably take me an entire hour to do the next segment. But if you pick me up and tell me where I left off, Tom, that's I think that's a pretty good little start, don't you?
Yep, absolutely.
Thanks for prodding me to do it. I need to start doing more stuff like that. Thank you. I'll tell you what, if you get I don't know if I'd take the breakout here. Are you at the 30? We've already passed the 30-minute. Oh, that was the 30-minute orb, dude. Come on. Oh, damn it. Damn, that was the 30-minute orb and the breakout of the level that I had. Shit. We should have gotten that trade. That was our one good opportunity, I think, before I have to get off here. We got a couple more minutes. Let's see if something happens in the next. We're looking at what, 9:48. Let's see if something happens in the next 5 or 6 minutes. If not, we'll just call it a night. How about that?
Yep.
Run to the restroom, be right. Hey, I like that. I mean, I thought, should I take a note on where I left off there?
I mean, I'll be able to break it down for you on the transcript. So, but yeah, you probably want to, so you know where you left off. But you'll be able.
I was just pulling up my stuff. Let me put a thing in here. Note. Okay, I did that. You know what? I think we maybe call it. I'm gonna step away for a second and then run to the restroom. If we don't see anything by then, we'll just call it for the night. How about that?
Okay.
All right. Yeah, I thought it was gonna be slow. If you want to stick around, this is a trade I'll take. That's the one I'll take. I'm not gonna take that. I'm gonna stay in my positions here, and I'm gonna ride those out for the night time. But I'm gonna call it.
Okay.
I would take this trade though. If it breaks here, that's
46.
actually I'm gonna leave that in. I like it's 5063, 463.
Okay.
Whatever is low that candle, 465. So I'm at 463. It's close enough to me, but this is where I differ than Paul. I expect this to go back down to here, to where it came from. So I would take this trade, and I'm still gonna put my stop up here because if it breaks here, it should go back down level to level. Get it?
Yep.
It's different. It's just at different levels. Like you're using different levels that Paul's teaching you,
Mhm.
and it's all it is, just different levels. But it's how you trade the levels, and that's a lesson for a long time down the road. But I put in, here's what I put in before we call it. I put in that teaching start back with the reasoning on risk reward versus scaling in, and I'm going to teach not scaling in. I'm going to teach dynamic sizing, whatever you want. It's not really scaling like this because you're not trying to scale into a trade. That's the scaling is more of like it's just not it doesn't work. You have to be dynamic with moving your positions around, and that's what I'll teach next is. And then you could probably throw that levels video in between the next segment and what I teach after that, and that would be a good middle point.
Did you
never change the way I teach levels ever?
Did you get the video set up?
No, the guy from PTR didn't get back to us, so we'll just have to and then teach.
Okay.
Oh, and then teach entries, and trade management. Entries and trade management come after that, and that's probably the most important topic I can teach: entries and trade management. Trade management is more important than where you enter a trade. Entries are very important. Trade management, extremely important. That's where we'll go next. All right, Hoss, boss man, I'll holler at you later.
Peace. Have a good
Is
night.
anybody in with us tonight? Did anybody make comments? No. No, nobody came
I
in.
wasn't watching.
Okay. All right, dude. I'll see you in the mornings.
I'll be there. See ya.
All right, buddy. See you.